Hi guys, it's me, just Lincoln again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to the month of Halloween, October in 2025, I should be talking about the next movie in the lineup for a Poltergeist series. And in this case, it's called Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, which remind me of Friends on the Other Side, as well as it being the only Poltergeist movie with a subtitle attached to it, unless you count the 2015 Poltergeist movie, which everyone count years as subtitles, unless it's like something like 1984, the Day of Reckoning, for example, which isn't a real thing, but I'm just giving an example here. But anyway, there's something else I realized about these movies, that would it be funny if you could view this as like Native American revenge porn against white settlers in America for all the atrocities that have happened to them in the past because of settlers, because of colonists, etc., etc., etc. Like, for example, you transport, you move us to bad property on the United States, you rob us, you rape women, and all this other stuff. So we're gonna possess your house, we're gonna invade your nightmares, we're gonna have Indian battlegrounds, which will be very easy for you to break into and make zombies out of your pets. Yeah, I feel like this whole genre can be easily some kind of revenge porn fantasy for Native American people, which is very justifiable in my opinion. But anyway, like the title suggests, The Other Side. It's they go on like a family trip to the other side, the negative zone in which the spirits reside. So I'm not really gonna go into too many details on the cast of characters, because they're all the same from the first movie, with some additional people. For example, they have Will Sampson, which might not sound very familiar to you right now, but let me tell you his character in another movie, in another way. He played the chief in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, again I mentioned in this month. So he's pretty famous for that. But also, a lot of he's actually in a speaking role in this movie, as he was mostly quiet for that other movie, Cuckoo's Nest. And that was notable for being his first movie role ever. So congratulations for that. And there's also, he plays a Native American guy named Taylor, which helps out the heroes in fight the evil demons and whatnot. And let's see, it's also the guy Julian Beck plays Reverend King. And the reason I put that in quotes is because he's not really Reverend, he's really a demon in disguise. And like Fred Krueger and like the Grave Mind, as he collects souls and things that he wants to possess, he absorbs them into his own being, like Saint Majin Buu, for example, another one. And this guy being disguised as a reverend could easily be passed off as like a way to say that um, that deeply religious people can often become demonic or bad influences, or that they can hide their own intentions of being an evil person by using the disguise of being a deeply religious person, which we often attribute being a good-hearted being or person. So anyway, being that this is like a continuation from the first movie, I would have been expecting for the effects and for the budget of the effects to be quite low. And for the first half of the movie, I'd say it was kind of like that. It was kind of like sparse in the effects department, and more so in the creep department, because you would expect for them not to be able to top what was in the first movie, with skeletons rising out of the grave, actual coffins and gravestones coming out of the pool of water and coming into your lawn, and just being a very scary type scenario. And yes, it was a pretty exciting first movie. And now, because I just saw it like 5 minutes before I started watching this one again. So we're kind of like a high bar set. And yeah, it doesn't come at that high, unfortunately. But the effects are actually pretty good. For example, the demon creature, when it comes out of, when Craig T. Nelson pukes up the demon creature, the Reverend, they show it like a big loogie that eventually grows into a human-sized demon creature with stubby legs, like kind of like what they did with Jill Swanson in the Castaway episode, Family Guy. So also he winks at his wife, probably Joe Beth Williams. A very funny wink, I should say, because everyone's creeped out and disgusted by this creature. On the other hand, she doesn't have any pantsless scenes in this movie, which I'm sure she probably got lots of complaints about. But that was, I guess, the better. So there's also the part where the boy in the movie and having braces put on his mouth, and then having those braces grow into like a large barbed wire wall, until eventually the wall consumes him and he's suspended in the ceiling by it. So that's really kind of freaky. I mean, I never had braces on my mouth like in this, but I would imagine that'd be a real nightmare for someone. And I think they also did something where they had flesh coming off by the pieces, like in the first movie. Not as much though, but still. It was very haunting and very chilling. There was also a part where the wife is walking around and stuff outside, and she gets the weird thing where heads and arms come reaching for her from beyond the grave, at ground level. So that's very kind of creepy and disturbing. I love every minute of it. And besides that, there's also the part where they have like another ghost type thing, like an animated ghost coming out forth from the ground to scare the living daylights out of them. But there's also a part that I can relate to quite personally, because they say that because the kid, the baby in the group, Kellyanne, was somehow touched by these demonic creatures and by these spirits. Not like a pedophile way, but then they were able to be secure for her demise and all that. She now has the power to see them. I don't know why, but she has the power to see them, along with Misty, played again by Zelda. I forgot her last name, but they call her the Magic Midget. That's a kind of derogatory term. I think that's by the good Reverend Dana Zach. So anyway, they also have her being possessed by this thing, and she said that she visited a grandma, and she told them how good of a person she is, and blah 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 and all this stuff. And then the next day, the woman passed away from old age, I guess, and everybody sad for it. Now, you might ask, how could that possibly be relatable to me? Well, it turns out that both my grandmother on my dad's side and my mother were both, doing poorly in health and all that. And then one of my cousins stayed with each of them in the last day of Earth, and then the next day they passed away. So it's like you're not going anywhere near my father, or me for that matter. So yeah, it was very coincidental that she spent the last day of their lives together with them, and the next day passed away. Kind of like the Pope and J.D. Vance. But unlike him, she's a very good person, a very good sweetheart. She's what my dad would call angels. But yeah, I would say that J.D. Vance is possibly the angel of death in disguise. But whatever. So these spirits, they won't leave them alone. They won't leave the family alone for anything. So the family has to go to another more powerful source than Misty again. And they call upon Killer to help them out with deal with menaces. And he is very successful in doing so, because he had a great screen presence. That but he's also very tall too. So they got a defeat from the demons and the whatever else monsters. So during the course of the movie, they started to get closer to this guy Killer. And at the end, they give it the infamous car, a station wagon, because the car speaks to him, like Christina, like the car, which I think is bullshit, just because he won a car. So anyway, they give him the car again to help him out. But beforehand, they like to say that the Reverend Zane likes to hold him. Don't go with that Indian guy. It's a bunch of mumbo jumbo and all that crap. Hocus pocus. Well, along with don't see the magic midget anymore. She's evil. She's bad. Now also, I want to point out that this is what evangelicals might say. The real religious people. Because the people that believe that the Bible is the Word, and there's nothing that can be changed about that, they like to say that Native American religious practices and mysticism / any other religion is wrong. You should feel bad for believing all that hocus pocus garbage. So yeah, there's a painting the conservative religious people as being wrong and quite possibly demonic. And yeah, whatever you believe, it's good by me. So let's see here now. It shouldn't be more in line with becoming friendly with Native American people. You know, with Taylor, among others. Even Miss T ends up siding with Native Americans and stuff. Because the first movie, that was what we're leaning more towards. So that's what happened with that one. And of course, the demon Dane take the kid Joanne back to the demon world. And in the end, the girl is taken by this demon, and it's about to be taken into the deeper part of the hell zone, or wherever you will call that thing, purgatory or hell or whatever. Because they want this child, and the one that can possibly grow up and fight them, be bad news to them. So they abduct her, and it's up to the father and the boy to go rescue her. Because and the mother too. So it's a family outing. It's a family outing to the vacation land of the other side, the wrong side of the street, if you will. So they go there, and they'll need for Taylor to give assistance because he's a Native American, I guess, doctor or shaman that can make fire go big and blue, kind of like a Pocahontas with doctor. And it's quite something because then he hands him a spear, which he calls a lance. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I know my lance is from Arthurian lore from medieval times. And that's the lance, that's a spear. Anyway, he gives them the pole determined space that this guy makes for them to communicate with them and to watch their progress. So he hands him the spear, and then like Moby Dick and Captain Ahab, the guy chucks the spear into the eye of this demon monster. And the demon monster moves away like a little dog and gives up a kill, and that goes back to the guy Taylor, and in reward, they give him his car back. Now, that's pretty good, but yeah, I have a question or two. You know, why is it that when they went the other side in the first movie, they were all wet and covered in shells in there, when they came back to the real world? Number two, you know, why didn't they get some Native American help from somebody else in the first one? That's a good question. And I like this because they finally stick up for themselves and beat back the demons themselves. And I also like some of the humor in it too. For example, when this shit happens again to them, of the demons follow them to the new location from the first movie when they move out, that like we have to move again, and then like the little girl says, "Can we go to Disney World?" Yeah, I can just imagine a haunted mansion ride full of real pissed off Native American spirits and poltergeist. But that'd be fun. You could see all the merchandise going every which way. You can see all the Disney princess dolls flying everywhere. You can see all the rides on hang wire. That would be fun. That would be great. Real popular. Real good. Be like a living tornado in there. Or a living hurricane go on in there. That'd be fun. And of course, you know that somebody would blame somebody else for it too. But anyway, yeah, I enjoyed it to me a lot more than I thought I would, especially with the physical and the physical the props over there that are really there, you know, physical, and also the imaging like they did in the first one with the ghosts and stuff, and the immaterial things that haunt you in your dreams. It was actually pretty cool. And this game again too was really nice. And look here, there was let me see here. There was a message that Native American magic gets like pretty powerful and pretty potent. Yeah, Taylor actually reminded me of the guy from Tomasi from the first Prey game, the good one. And you know, I couldn't think of, I can't remember what year that came out. Let's see, around 2006 maybe. That was a good game. Yeah, good for aliens, and I love that the Native American aspect to it too, that you play like as a spiritual walker and all that. That was pretty damn cool. That game, it was made with the same engine as Quake. I mean, really impressive work with that one. But that's what Taylor reminded me of. You know, a spiritual warrior. Unfortunately, Will Simpson is no longer with us. He passed away years ago. I want to say he was an alcoholic, but I don't want to go into stereotypes with that. So, I'm going to say I don't know. Perhaps you guys can comment on it. But, yeah, I like Poltergeist 2, the other side. They definitely don't have any friends on the other side. And I like the way, they brought back Zelda from, you know, Miss T, played by Zelda from the first movie. Yes, the voice is still funny as well to me. Let's see, well, but back all the cast of characters, even though I didn't recognize Jill Beth Williams and the wife. Yeah, everything was good. But there weren't as many quotes in this one that were memorable. Like, they're here, or something similar. There was no joke about the TV being left out, like Fred Flintstone and Little Flintstones. And the effects were pretty good too. They were practical. That's what they get, practical effects. And the other thing I want to remember was the Sister Act movie that has been catching the demon within. I know that's kind of weird. I just remembered that, but I just remembered that from yesterday. A little discussion in the movie. But yeah, I find this movie to be very good, despite being a sequel to a great masterpiece movie. The movie, like, the first Poltergeist movie was like a 10 easy. And this one was more of a, like, an 8. I'll give it an 8. So there was no, like, we're done with everything. That's it. Yeah, and then the surprise at the end, with all the demons and corpses that come out of the grave and saying hello to everyone else. No, but this was more of a rising danger field until the climax when the father stabbed the big bad guy, the bad demon, and then freeing out of hell into hell by himself. Yeah, I enjoyed Poltergeist 2 on the side. And thank you for watching my video about that. So anyway, I did this for Halloween month in October in 2025. If you like what you see here and you want to see more of my stuff in my channel, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also get me to by contacting me for future videos on my future channel by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707, or you can find me on Twitter or actively record that at P Nelson Pro. Also, my email is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, actually, all you people out there who like ghost movies, especially Poltergeist movies, there's no Casper the Friendly Ghost in this movie. Even though one of them does look like Casper, and then he tends to be a real menace to society. Kind of like lowering a false sense of security. But yeah, Poltergeist movies, horror movies. Poltergeist movies are like one of the last bastions of true horror out there in ghost form. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys until the end. Sayonara, au revoir, bonsoir.